$8,322.52 for 2020. Hey everyone, Jason here. Sincerely hope you are continuing to stay safe and healthy. And just in case you missed it, the last 2 weeks I actually have not done a vlog, and that was because I made the arduous mistake of planning this really elaborate time blocking vlog, and then I forgot to time block the actual vlogs. So for 2 weeks I had a project plan where I had no vlogs, and I packed it to the max, of course, and so that's simply the silly reason that there were no vlogs for the past 2 weeks. So with that, I'll have to wait to do that time blocking video later since the schedule totally got messed up. And today what I wanted to share with you is how much it actually costs to run a digital business or agency. So this is going to be applicable if you're trying to sell your services. Okay, well, there goes the laundry machine. Who thinks that was a good idea? Okay, the laundry machine is done singing. I don't know who or what designer thought it would be a good idea to have your laundry machine go through a 30-second jingle every time it finishes, but I digress. So here what we're gonna do is we're going to go through 3 different tiers of how much it costs to run a digital business. I think I was on saying what it was for, so this is gonna be if you're a course creator, you're looking to be a freelancer or create a digital agency. I'm not gonna get into product development here, just actually the marketing side, how much the software is, and then some of that boring business and legal stuff that you have to deal with this. So with that, of course I have another Excel sheet. So let's just jump right in. So I like using my 4 quadrants to organize everything. We're gonna go through team, which is the administrative stuff. Then we'll go through content here, sales funnel, and ultimately product. So as you can see, product is actually just going to have 1, and for some reason, I totally deleted the fact that this is teachable. So there we go. Okay, cool. So let's start at the top. I have 3 different tiers for us. I have Bootstrap, which is where you just have the bare minimum $0 budget to start with. And then we have Start and Grow. So depending upon where you are in your business or how much money you have, you'll fall into one of these categories. And more specifically, especially when we get to the sales funnel and product side, I'm gonna jump on a soapbox, and there's gonna be some ranting in here. So be prepared for that. When it comes to the actual tools to run your business, the good news is, other than having cloud storage, I really don't think there's anything that you actually have to pay for. So when it comes to storing all of your files, I recommend Google Drive or Office 365. Chances are you already gravitate towards one of them. While I am a very huge proponent of Google Drive right now, up until just 3 years ago, I was a Microsoft fanboy. And it's kind of painful to admit, but after so many years of them just continuously failing, I gave up on 365. I had the versions before that too. I even had LiveSync, if you remember that. I'm dating myself a little bit, but getting off track here. So with one of those 2 solutions, you're going to be paying anywhere from $8 to $12 a month per user. And if you're on a budget, you really only need one license, if that, right? So Google Drive is going to give you 15 gigabytes free. And if you're doing anything with video, you're probably going to run into that limit pretty quick. And for another $10 a month, you can get up to a terabyte of storage. So you might as well just go with G Suite and get the terabyte of storage, because if you do terabytes of storage on your personal account, you're paying $10 a month. So you might actually save just a couple of bucks by going with G Suite as opposed to paying for the upgrade. Probably way more information than you needed. So when you go start, here's what I've determined for start. I'm going to say that there's a total of 2 of you, and then for grow, there's a total of 5. And so that's really only going to apply on the team side. So you're going to be paying for 2 licenses, 18, and then you might be paying for 5 at 45. And then for Evernote, I recommend using Evernote for building your swipe file. So they have this cool little snippet tool. OneNote has this too. If you still use OneNote, then you can do OneNote. I'm not trying to argue with you. I just hate OneNote now. And I actually finally convinced my business partner to try out Evernote, which totally different story. So with Evernote, I almost said OneNote. With Evernote, what's really cool is you can easily clip entire pages, I give it away, entire web pages or landing pages. And so I always like clicking on ads, seeing what other people are doing for their landing pages and sales pages. And so I go ahead and use that to quickly just clip the entire page. It's automatically saved to Evernote. I know there's other snipping tools, but I can easily add the tags and the notebook I want it into, and I have a nice organized swipe file, and it doesn't take me very long to keep it organized and upkeep. And the basic plan of Evernote is just $10 a month. I think their business one is just way overpriced considering what you could get with other services. And after that, you're going to be using some sort of project management tool. So Asana and Trello are free. We actually use Basecamp, which is why our pricing is going, or our costs, monthly costs and annual costs are going to be a little higher. And then Wave Accounting, it's free. It's hard to beat free. And I've used QuickBooks, I've used FreshBooks, and I've used one other that I'm completely blanking on, and Wave Accounting still wins. Those other ones just aren't worth paying for, and the extra features you get with them just wind up causing more accounting headaches than they are worth, especially if you weren't an accounting major, which is how I spent 4 years in college. I guess 2, since the first 2 you don't actually do anything related to your major or an actual job for that matter. So then let's go ahead and go down to content. So for content, I broke it up into your WordPress website and then to your whatever you're doing with social media or marketing. So when you are bootstrapping here, you're probably only going to be spending an average of $1 a month. I've averaged out $12 per year for a domain, and then you can actually go to WordPress.com and they have a free hosting plan. And then there's a free version of the page builder called Elementor. And so with that, for $12 a year, you're going to have your custom domain and you're going to have your hosting with WordPress.com, and you're going to be wanting to use the Elementor plugin. I no longer recommend using Thrive Themes. Sorry, Thrive Themes fans. I'm just so done with it. So then if you go to the grow and scale side, you're going to wind up paying $49 a year for your one website using the pro features of Elementor. It just gives you a lot more flexibility with building your site. And you're probably going to pick up some domains. I don't know what it is about being a digital entrepreneur, but we all seem to have this propensity to just randomly have ideas for domains, or when we're searching, we go, oh, you know what? One day I could do this with this domain. And so then you wind up buying it, right? I think at one time I had something like 30 or 40. I definitely have a problem, and I've let most of them go. I think now our domains is closer to 15 or 20. But when you start growing and when you start and grow, I realized I was saying scale, start and grow with these particular 2 tiers, you're probably going to be purchasing the other versions of your domain. So when you're on a bootstrap, you're probably just purchasing .com, right? And then you're going to get the net, info, and org if they aren't already taken. Or you might be stuck with IO, like how we got stuck with our actual agency domain is .io because .com and some of the other ones were already taken, and I was really attached to the name. I definitely don't recommend doing that. Definitely check your domain availability before you choose your business name. And then I also recommend using a plugin called Pretty Links. So when you start to grow, you're definitely going to want to purchase the Pro plan, and all this is a link shortener and tracker. So as you do affiliate marketing or you do your own promotions, if you've seen anything that I've done in the past with UTM parameters, Pretty Links plus UTM parameters is pure gold. It's going to save you so much time and ensure that your affiliate links never break. Speaking of affiliate links, I mean, just like what happened with Amazon, if you wanted to quickly switch out all of your Amazon affiliate links, well, you wouldn't have to go find them manually. You would have had Pretty Links and then use the Amazon affiliate link, so you could just go through your dashboard and literally swap out all of those links for a different site that isn't going to give you just 1% on the commission. And in case you missed that, Amazon slashed their commissions by like 80 or 90%. So now people, instead of getting 5%, get like 1% on things. I'm paraphrasing, but it's pretty bad for affiliate marketers. So scrolling down, when we come to posts and media, for the Bootstrap plan, you're not going to be paying anything for Canva. You're just going to use Canva for free. That's going to be able to give you all of the flexibility of creating your social images. And then for your actual assets, you'll look at sites like Pixabay, Unsplash, and Pexels. There we go, Pexels for actual stock royalty-free stock photos. Once you actually start having a budget, I definitely recommend upgrading to Canva Pro plan, and this is going to give you a ton of free illustrations and graphics inside of Canva, and it's going to save you from the next two things until you really start to grow and get into scaling. So when it comes to actual other graphics, especially if you're doing YouTube and you want to do some videos and B-rolls, or you want to do some more advanced things with your WordPress website, then Envato Elements or Market is the way to go for just $200 a year, or just, divided by 12, or just $16.50 a month. You'll have access to a ton of different assets, from video B-rolls to audio music that you can put inside of your videos, to sound effects, to graphics and stock photos. So there's a lot in there. And then if you really want to take it to the next level, then Storyblocks is going to give you a large library of stock footage, stock audio, and stock photos as well. And so those are, I mainly included those in here if you were going to be doing a lot with your social media, or you're actually going to be doing anything with YouTube. Those are the two that we actually like to use. So now comes the most confusing part. So far, if we go through, if I just do a quick summary, you're paying $144 a month to make sure your business is running and then run your website and content. So $150 a month and you're good to go. But now let's go ahead and talk about the most confusing part, which is the sales funnel side of things. So I've done my best to break this down to how it would actually work. So with the Bootstrap, this is definitely where most of your money will need to go. You'll need to plan on paying at least $10 a month to MailerLite, so you can have your own domain and you can have their custom landing page features. So MailerLite on the Bootstrap plan will take care of your landing pages, your sales pages, and your email. I almost forgot. What's the last one? And your email. Plus, if you really wanted to get fancy, I haven't done a video on this yet, but they now actually have the ability to password protect pages, so you could technically deliver your product. Although I wouldn't recommend it, because when we get down to Teachable, you'll see that Teachable has a free plan. So I would recommend just going with Teachable and starting there. But if you really wanted to be budget and you can't use Teachable in your country for some reason, or you just don't like Teachable in general, then that would be an option. I don't have a tutorial on that yet. It's just something I noticed the other day when I was doing another tutorial that'll be coming out in a few weeks. Now, when it comes to actually starting to grow and paying for an email autoresponder, let me mouse over here because I forgot. So up to 2,500 subscribers, MailerLite's going to cost you $15 a month. So $15 for your emails and then $10 for your landing pages. Together, you're $25 a month. And then that cost will go up to a total of $40 a month, or $30 for up to 5,000 email subscribers. Now, what I did, something a little different, is I switched over to ConvertKit for the Grow plan. And the reason I did that is because we recently found out that MailerLite has a tremendous amount of limitations when it comes to creating advanced, or I wouldn't call them advanced, just basic shopping cart automations. We had a complete blunder, and I'll have to talk about it in another vlog, where our launch for our YouTube course just absolutely flopped. I think one of it was just poor timing. Obviously, we're launching a course in the middle of a terrible, terrible time for most people's lives, but also the software itself, the automations did not work like they were supposed to. And so things went out early, or they went out late, or they didn't go out at all, and then people got expired pages. It was not great. So I would recommend, if you're going to start doing anything with like upsells, downsells, you want to do shopping cart abandonment sequences, MailerLite definitely is not the solution for that. So you'd probably switch over to ConvertKit, and at this point you're paying $80 a month for up to 5,000 subscribers. Now, the downside of ConvertKit versus MailerLite is their landing page builder isn't exactly up to par yet. So I would use MailerLite landing pages like we do, but I wouldn't use ConvertKit landing pages just yet. I'm sure in 6 months to a year, it's going to be on par with MailerLite, but for now, you're probably going to wind up having to go over to, Lead Pages for $48 a month to have your landing pages. So if you want that automation that comes with ConvertKit, then you're going to need to be using Lead Pages, which really bumps up your costs. And the other piece of software I recommend using here is going to be ThriveCart. This is going to be $500 one time, so I've amortized it over 24 months. We've been using it for almost 3 years now, and they just did a recent update, so I have to eat my words on one of the negative reviews that I did, but we've been very happy and impressed. They can do upsells and downsells, and they integrate with several membership platforms. Teachable being one of them off the top of my head, but they don't integrate with Thinkific, interestingly enough. Well, not yet. You have to use Zapier, but I won't go into that because I don't want to add an extra layer to complexity, especially when we're just talking about basic costs. So for the Grow plan, if you're looking at all of the costs here, that's going to be another $167. And then if you're on the Start plan, that's just going to be another $32 a month. The reason I'm including Vimeo Plus here is because when you have your sales, if you're using a sales video, it needs to be with Vimeo. Please don't do your sales videos with YouTube. I get a lot of questions of this on my YouTube versus Vimeo videos. And simply put, when you embed a YouTube video, YouTube will automatically have all of those suggestions pop up when someone pauses, and they're going to be able to right click on the video, copy the URL, and then just go directly over to YouTube. During the sales process, you want them to stay focused on the actual video that's being watched. And you can get away with a $7 a month plan because you can actually upload your content videos directly to Teachable. Now, if you're doing this on a WordPress site, you're going to need to immediately pay for the $20 a month version, because when you run your membership site using WordPress, you're going to be using Vimeo to host your videos as opposed to doing it all on Teachable and only having to pay Vimeo $7 a month. Now, if you wanted to, hope you're still tracking with me. By the way, if you have any questions, go ahead and just comment below. I'm still reading and replying to every single one. Love to help you out, making sure that you're not overspending on your software and general costs. So going down here, I'm just going to briefly highlight Book Like a Boss and Kajabi. So if you're looking for an all-in-one platform for all of your marketing and emails, even delivering your courses, then Kajabi is still a really good deal at $160 a month. You do have to pay annually, but you're going to be able to have everything under one roof. And the price is not that much more expensive than the marketing stack I'm coming up with here at $167. Actually, it's slightly less. You can do a lot more when you have multiple pieces of software, and I don't like having all my eggs in one basket, but I did want to include Kajabi here just in case you're one of those people who just doesn't want to have to deal with all of the connections and tech headache and just have one solution and be done. Also, if you need to do bookings, then you'll add $12 a month for Book Like a Boss. I really like their software because of all the features you get versus some of the other popular ones like Calendly, if I'm saying that correctly. So finally, we have Teachable. Now, the great thing about Teachable is you can start for free. So even on the Bootstrap plan, you're not going to pay anything to Teachable. Now, yes, they have a high transaction fee, but that's how they support you in having the free plan. And then you pay $29 a month in the Start plan and $99 a month in the Grow plan. So the total out-of-pocket costs for each one of these, for bootstrapping, you're looking at $20 a month to start your online business, right? So that's pretty dang cheap. Now, obviously, this is all US, so it might be different depending upon your country. But when it comes to starting a business and keeping a business going, $20 a month is absolutely ridiculous. I think it's more than reasonable for anyone who's trying to get this whole digital marketing thing and online business thing to work. Then when you are just starting out, your average cost is going to be $113 a month. Obviously, there's some softwares on here that require a big one-time upfront fee, but on average, it's going to come out to $113 and then $411.12 if you are starting to grow and you're looking to scale. Now, our actual expenses monthly right now are projected at $693.54, and that's just because, number one, we pay for 2 licenses of TubeBuddy, which was a mistake. We should have just paid for 1, and also we pay for Basecamp and Recur and some other softwares to support our clients. And so that's why our prices are, or our costs are a little higher than the $400 a month, but not too much more. The only other thing I wanted to point out here is the legal stuff, because it's boring but it's necessary. Also, this is not legal advice. I'm not giving you tax or legal advice or investment advice whatsoever. I do not have any licenses anymore of the sort. So take this as, entertainment, not entertainment or just so you know purposes, right? So don't sue me, bro, right? Okay, so when you're just starting, you probably don't have to worry too much about this. The only thing I want to point out and really talk about, because I know most people don't know this when they get into it, email marketing does require you to have a real address at the bottom of your emails. So if you don't pay for a business mailbox, you have to put your own home address in all those emails that you're sending out. Now, I'm not going to tell you whether or not that's a good idea or bad idea. I'll just leave that up to your judgment. Personally, I have always had a mailbox since day one. Since the first day I started sending emails, that was one of the first things I decided to pick up. Obviously, I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just sharing what I have done. So I actually would have had the $275 for the mailbox. And here, the UPS store does in the States does a really good job. Of course, you can find virtual mailboxes. You just want to make sure that those mailboxes aren't PO boxes. You don't want the PO box problem because that's a headache. So I can't say that since that's not legal advice. Don't get a PO box. Get an actual virtual address. Pay extra money for that. You're going to be happy that you did. Then LLC legal LLC filing fees and just registered agent fees. I use myllc.com or .co, I think, and they charge us about $223 a month to do all the filings and whatnot. I'll leave it up to you to decide what state and region you should file. You should talk to your tax advisor, which is the last one, definitely taxes. I think the first year or two, you can probably get away with TurboTax. I had a scare, an absolute scare in year number, I think, year number 3 of my first business. I had this giant scare where the IRS sent me a letter saying I owed something like $730 when my business hadn't even made that much that year. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And so ever since then, I've just used an accountant. I've said, you know what? My college degree has run its course. It got me 4 or 5 years into my adult life, and then it failed me. So we spend anywhere from $300 to $400 a year just in filing and tax and preparation fees. Of course, I highly recommend you find your own accountant, and definitely don't just read up online and think that you're an expert by reading one of those like Accounting for Dummies books or LLCs for Dummies books. I think they're really good in helping you point and get pointed in the right direction. But after that, if you can afford it, at least get some sort of person, some sort of tax professional. I would say tax professional, not lawyer. Go to the tax professional first and then worry about, and they'll be able to tell you how you should structure things. A good tax professional will know enough. You don't have to go to a lawyer and get all those documents or whatever signed. At least I don't think so. Shoot, you don't have to. You might. I don't know. I'm not giving legal advice, right? Okay, let's just go to the end. I'm digging myself in a hole here. So in the very end, you're looking at anywhere from $240 all the way up to $5,831.40 to run your business online. Our grand total costs are $8,322.52. And again, that's just because we pay for Basecamp, which is over about $1,000 a year. We have some add-ons on there, and then we have some extra software that we use to manage client projects. Specifics to what they need. So I hope this was helpful and valuable. This is kind of like taking a lot of the software reviews that I've done on this video and just condensing them all the way down into this is what I would look at depending upon where you are in your business. And if you have more money, I would highly recommend not spending it on another piece of software, but going ahead and actually starting to use it in advertising or hiring. That's pretty much where the rest of our income goes. I think the majority of our income actually goes to paying people to help us grow the business, and then after that, advertising. So it goes people, then it goes fixed expenses like the stuff we're talking about here, and then it goes advertising, and we're hoping to scale enough where advertising becomes number 2 on that list. So thank you so much for watching. Sincerely hope you got some value out of this video. Really hope you stay safe and healthy. I know this is a crazy time. We have no idea what's coming next. But at least you could hopefully got some enjoyment out of all of these numbers. And yeah, I know it's weird, but this is kind of like what I would like to do and play with on my free time. So I sincerely hope this is helpful to you and saves you some money. So I'm starting to ramble again. So until the next, keep building the business you love.